Hello boys and girls, it's time for another lesson on our mathematics session. I am your teacher Ms. Shamshireen, and I'm going to be giving you some guidelines and demonstrations on some number concepts. Shakuntala Devi posited, without mathematics, there is nothing you can do. Everything around you is mathematics. Everything around you is numbers. I'll read that again. Without mathematics, there is nothing you can do. Everything around you is mathematics. Everything around you is numbers. In today's lesson, we will be looking at successors and predecessors. We already know that if we count naturally, we want to start from 1, going forward. Now, we could also count backwards. Now, when we look at those numbers in the order which they flow, we use the terms successors and predecessors to describe them. Now, what exactly is a successor? A successor is a number that succeeds a number or comes after a given number when you are counting. For example, let's look at a simple one. We know if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know that 5 comes after 4. Hence, the successor of the given number is 1 more than the previous number. So if you're asked, what is the successor of 4? The answer will be 5. So when we want to find the successor of a number, we simply add 1 to the number that we are given. Here's another example. What comes after 97? Or what is the successor of 97? 97 plus 1 will give you 98. So the successor of 97 is 98. And that's in counting order as well. Let's work some more examples to find the successors of these numbers. And this is going to help you to better understand. What is the successor of 45? Remember, to find the successor, you can simply add 1 to the number given. Or we could ask ourselves the question, which number comes after 45? Now here we see, if we add 1 to 45, which is 45 plus 1, we get 46. So, 46 is the successor of 45. Our next example, what is the successor of 102? Again, if we use the addition method of adding 1, we know that 102 plus 1, we will get 103. Now, if you want to count, you will also realize that 103 comes just after 102. Now, here's an activity for you to find successors on your own. I'll read each question and I'll give you about 60 seconds to do it on your own. Here's the first one for you. The successor of 454 is... Now remember the rules on how to find the successors and try the first one. Did you get 455? If you did, you're absolutely correct. Remember, we will add 1 to 454. So 454 plus 1 will give us 455. So the successor of 454 is 455. Number 2. What comes after 112? Again, with the addition method, 112 plus 1 gives us 113. So 113 comes after 112. Thus, 113 is the successor of 112. Number 3. What is the successor of 231? Again, you could either count, but remember 231 to do in 60 seconds, it's a long way to go. So what we simply do is add 1 to 231 and we will get 232. So 232 is the successor of 231. And the last one for this activity, what comes after 189? I'm sure that this one was quite easy for you. So when you add 1 to 189, you get 190. So 190 comes after 189. The successor of 189 is 190. I hope that you are enjoying the session so far. I hope that you were following carefully and that you took the time to do the activity that I was taking you through. Now we move from successors to predecessors. These two terms go hand in hand. Now, what exactly does predecessor mean? A predecessor is the number that precedes a number or comes before a given number when you are counting. So just now, we were looking at numbers that come after as successors. Now, we are looking at numbers that come before, which are described as predecessors. Again, when you are counting, you start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ask yourself the question, which number comes before 6? You will know that 5 comes before 6. You might also remember in your lesson on prefix from your language class that the term pre, which is a prefix, means before. So, predecessor of a given number is one less than the given number or the number that comes before the number that we are given. So, let's find the predecessor by using the subtraction method or by taking one away from the number that you are given. Let's look at this example. What comes before 97? Or, what is the predecessor of 97? Here we're using the subtraction method. So 97 minus 1 will give us 96. So the predecessor of 97 is 96. 96 comes before 97. Let's work some examples to find the predecessors of these given numbers. What is the predecessor of 40? Again, using the subtraction method, 40 minus 1, we get 39. So 39 is the predecessor of 40. Simply means that 39 comes just before 40. What comes before 102? Again, if we use the subtraction method, we see 102 minus or subtract 1 will give us 101. So 101 comes before 102. 101 is the predecessor of 102. Now, you have a chance to find predecessors on your own. So again, I hope that you have your pencil and your book and you are ready to give it a try. The first one, what's the predecessor of 454? Remember the methods we discussed. This time, instead of addition, we're using subtraction. Use your 60 seconds to find the answer. All right, so you would have used the subtraction method. So 454 minus 1 will give us 453. So the predecessor of 454 is 453. The next one, what comes before 164? Again, you subtract 1. The answer you will get is 163. So 163 comes before 164. 163 is the predecessor of 164. Try this next one. What is the predecessor of 211? 211 minus 1 will give you 210. So 210 is the predecessor of 211. 210 comes before 211. Remember, you are looking for the number that comes just before the number you are given for the predecessor. What comes before 189? 1, you get 188. So 188 comes before 189. 188 is the predecessor of 189. Now let's look at the successors and predecessors together. Here I have some bigger numbers, but I'm sure that you will find it quite simple to get through. Remember, the predecessor is the number that comes before, and you use the subtraction method to find that answer. The successor is the number that comes after the given number. You use the addition of 1 to find the answer for successor. So let's look at the first one. The number is 7,148. To find the predecessor, we minus 1. When we do that, we get 7,147 as the predecessor. For the successor, remember we are adding 1. So if we add 1 to 7,148, we will get 7,149. So there you will see in that line, on the left-hand side, you have the predecessor, and on the right-hand side, you have the successor. The next number, 8,950. If you minus 1 from 8,950, the predecessor will be 8,949. I hope you're following the lesson carefully. To find the successor, you add 1. So if you add 1 to 8,950, you get 8,951. 7,620, the predecessor of that number minus 1 will give you 7,619. I hope that you are following and looking at the addition and the subtraction operation to arrive at the predecessor and the successor. Remember, to find the successor, we add 1 to the given number. To find the predecessor of the number, we subtract 1 from the given number. Now here you have a table. It's pretty simple. You have predecessor and successor, the given number in the middle.
So
What is the predecessor of the first number, which is 489? The predecessor will be 488. What would be the successor? 490. 1054, the predecessor will be 1053. The successor will be 1055. Are you noticing that we could just count in the normal order? 1053, 1054, 1055. Our next number, 2467. The predecessor of that number will be 2466. The successor will be 2468. And the last one for you to try, 43. The predecessor will be 42, and the successor will be 44. Well, that was quite some calculation, but I'm pretty sure that you found that it was quite simple. That's all for our lesson today on successors and predecessors, but just let's do some recap before we close. We learned a successor is a number that succeeds a number or comes after a given number when we are counting. To find the successor, we simply add 1 to the given number. A predecessor is a number that precedes a number or comes before a given number when we are counting. Hence, the predecessor of a given number is 1 less than the given number. So in order for us to find the predecessor, we simply take away or minus 1 from the given number. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Make sure you tune in for another interesting mathematics lesson. So until next time, I am Ms. Shamsuddin saying goodbye